news. I'm officially in escrow. I'm looking at buying a house, and I found one, and I made an offer. They accepted. I put my earnest money down. So my 30-day clock starts now. It's a little hard to believe, to be honest. And there's a lot that needs done beforehand. We're currently working on utilities, getting everything turned on so that the housing inspector and the appraiser has what they need to do their job correctly. But it seems like so far there's a pretty good chance this is all gonna work out, which is just wild. I kind of can't believe it. So I had a thought to not film until like I was moving into the house, but then I was also seeing that like people weren't filming this portion, where everything's up in the air and you don't know what's going on and everything's a whirlwind. So I'm gonna start this here, and if I don't get the house, then I don't get the house, and all this footage is for nothing. But yeah, this is where I'm at. It's a scary and exciting, but I'm excited to take you along for the journey. I am sitting in an auto shop because the van is having issues. So if you can hear that, I don't know what to do. But I am all dolled up today because I went and signed mortgage papers. It's not all closed yet. It's kind of like, they described it to me as like rough draft. It's like all the disclosure papers, like saying that they can look up all my credit scores and all that kind of stuff, for the mortgage documents. So that is done, and I had to get a ride from the receptionist here because my van is not running right now. And then the mortgage broker gave me a ride back to the van at the shop. So it's interesting times, but you know, it is what it is. And I'm very grateful that all these people were being so nice and so helpful and so generous. So in case you guys don't watch my other content or see other videos, this is Teddy. He's a little disgruntled right now because he doesn't want to be in my lap, but I was thinking about it, and I don't know that Teddy's ever been in a home before. Like, I don't know that he's ever had a home before. So, hi. No, I adopted him over a year ago, and I don't know his situation from where I adopted him. I don't know if he was off the street or what. He was only like less than a year old when I adopted him, and then we've been in the van. We lived at my parents' house for a little while over the summer, but like, I don't know. It's very possible that he's never had a home to call his own. So that would be really cool if everything goes through and we get everything squared away on the property. That'd be really cool for him to have his first home. Basically where I'm at right now is that I am waiting for water to get turned on at the property so that I can get a home inspector out, and then we can get the appraisal done and move on with everything. But the water is the water is turned off on the property because the property was a rental property before, and so the tenants had the water in their name and the seller didn't know, so the seller just hasn't been paying the bill because they didn't know there was a bill, and so they're trying to get all the back bills paid and everything so that they'll turn the water back on so that we can do the inspection, because you have to turn the water on to see if everything works and all that jazz. We had the offer accepted on the 10th So that makes my dates really easy because the first 17 days, that makes it the 28th is kind of my deadline for all of the inspections and stuff to keep in mind. And then obviously a 30-day escrow for the month of March puts my closing date 30 days at April 9th. Van's warming up because I'm on my way to the property. Today is home inspection day. Appraisal is in 2 more days. Friday. Today's Wednesday. Appraiser's coming Friday. So I'm coming to town today. We're gonna go see what all's wrong with the house. I am super early. I'm like a half hour early. There are these huge boulders, and there's a big pile of them here that people like spray paint, and it's super cool. So I'm just drinking some coffee and I'm gonna go take a walk around because I've never actually gotten out and like taken photos of them before. Oh my gosh. So it's the next day. As you can see, I am very sunburned. That's because what I thought was going to take like an hour and a half, 2 hours tops. I was actually out there for 4 hours, maybe a little bit more even. And that wasn't all the home inspection, but like the neighbors were there. I met the neighbors. The neighbor guy is an old retired guy, and he was like, "Oh, our water pipes are unburied. The soil's eroded, and so the water pipes are unburied. You should go walk down and check that out." So I did. So that was like the kiss of death for the sunburn, because I was already pink then, but then walking all along where the pipes were and everything, and then I met some other people and I said hello to them, and it was too much sun. All right, grab my glasses here. It is very bright. It is almost 90 degrees. It might be more. I don't know. It was supposed to be like 90 degrees in the weather forecast. So we are definitely getting warm out here. Normally I'd be starting to move on in the van, just because it gets hot and I have a little dog. But if I end up closing on the house, I gotta be here. So, you know, we'll make do, and it's only warm for the next couple of days. So this is just not working out very well for filming. I had to get the thrower because Teddy was getting into stuff out there. I had to otherwise occupy him with the ball. So you're going to hear him whining here anytime now because he wants me to throw it again. On cue. Anyways, home inspection did actually find something out. There's 2 big things. And 1 smaller thing. So the big thing is that there is numerous things wrong with the electrical. Not that it wasn't set up correctly, but that it's broken. Basically, half of the house has no electricity because it is broken somewhere. So that's not good. The other thing is that the roof is leaking more places than we thought it was. The other third thing is that it's galvanized steel pipe plumbing in at least the kitchen area, if not the bathroom and whatnot. That's a problem because that just falls apart and it leaches and stuff. It's not good. You're not supposed to use that. I'm counting that as a pretty low concern because with all the plans that I have for the house, the whole house at some point will be repiped. So it's not leaking. It's not anything that will prevent me from getting a loan. It's not anything that is like needing to be redone, except for the fact that this kitchen sink is plumbed to go straight outside and not into the septic. But that's just a simple P-trap. It's not a big deal, and the fittings are still there and everything. And then I think the appraiser is coming out tomorrow If not tomorrow, then Monday, but I really thought it was tomorrow. So we'll see. That apparently takes like 4-ish days to get back. So that's the other big thing, is if a house doesn't appraise for value, then you can't get the loan for that value. So, and I definitely don't have like, you know, tens of thousands of dollars sitting around to pay the gap between what I'm able to finance and the whatever the appraiser comes up with for a final value. So we're hoping the house appraises well below value, and that way I can roll closing costs and maybe some renovations into the mortgage, but we'll just have to wait and see. If I updated you every time something happened, you guys, this video would be like 5 million minutes long. So got the appraisal back, and the house appraised $10,000 low. I was hoping to be able to roll my closing costs into the loan, and you can't do that unless the house appraises for more than you agreed on. So for example, if a house appraises for $500,000, you agreed on $475,000, then you could roll $25,000 of stuff into your loan. And what that does is saves me the cash. I get to keep the cash in my pocket instead of paying them in closing costs. And since this house needs so much work, I need the cash. So basically my closing costs are pretty close to what I have saved up already. Hello. So if I pay the closing costs, I'm out of money. So basically what I have done with my agent is make a request for repair, which is basically just saying like we need to renegotiate stuff, that they come down the $10,000 to meet the appraisal price. The seller's really not happy right now. So there's a good chance they're just gonna say no, just no, and then I'm done. I can't afford the house. I literally had to rewatch the last video I recorded because I don't even know where in this madness that I left you guys off at. So Teddy and I are chilling in Los Angeles. I don't know why I had a brain fart there. We're at the beach because it is now summer. It is hot, and so we are where it is cool. And basically picking up from where I left off with you guys last time, the seller accepted the price reduction and basically said we're not doing anything else. No other repairs other than the roof and the glass that they were already going to do. So I basically got my mortgage broker to run me all my new numbers, and with my new closing costs and my new monthly payment, I also found out when my first month payment would be. So she was like, oh, if you close in May, your first monthly payment won't be till July. So that also gives me a couple of months of buffer before I have to actually start paying the mortgage, to save up money and spend what would be my mortgage money on repairs and stuff like that. So that all made me feel a lot better about the situation. So I went for it. I signed off on his request for repair and I said, sounds good, let's do this thing. And at that point in time, all of the work that needed done on the house got started. So the roofer is out yesterday and today, should be done with the roof. The seller had to fix the septic system. They did that last week. I had to hire a handyman to do the small items that were needed to be done in order for the appraisal to pass. So there was just a whole list of stuff that was wrong, and we knew that would happen. The house is in pretty rough shape, but we were waiting to see what the appraiser called out. And so that list came back, and we added a couple more things on there because just because they didn't see it the first time doesn't mean they won't see it a second time, and we don't want them to have to keep coming back out because that is going to take a lot of time. And also because we need to hurry up and close because my interest rate is expiring. They've been holding my interest rate, but because interest rates keep climbing, they're getting in trouble for doing that at this point. All the technical stuff back behind that, it's like they have to pay money to hold it and all that kind of stuff. So I'm starting to get in trouble about my interest rate. And so we're in a hurry. So theoretically, I am closing next week. The title company called today. They have papers that they want me to sign, and that is why I look all nice, because they're sending a mobile notary out to meet me at a coffee shop today. And we are signing title company papers. I probably should have known this, but the papers that I went and signed, those are final papers. I probably should have been tipped off when they needed a notary, but I was like, he showed up and the packet was like this thick, and I was like, are these final papers? And of course, he's just a notary. He doesn't know what's going on, but he's been doing it long enough. He was like, yeah, looks like it. I'm like, oh. So my papers are signed. It's not over yet because the mortgage company has to remove the condition of the appraisal, which is still on Tuesday. Teddy's throwing a fit back there. Sorry. So as soon as the appraisal comes in, basically, they're going to remove the condition, and I think I'm done. I've been running around. That's why my face is a tomato. So that's great. I think I'm closing today. The moral of the story is that this entire process has not gone how it's supposed to. And I don't know how many real estate transactions do. I kind of get a feeling that, like, you're lucky if everything goes completely smoothly and as planned. But, so I updated you guys last when I signed the papers with the notary. I got a call today from the title company saying, hey, why haven't you paid your money yet? Your closing costs. I was like, I didn't know I was supposed to. And they were like, oh yeah, like, you need to send those over right away. I was like, okay. So on the phone with them, I went and transferred the money. And they were like, okay, well, we'll get this here soon and we'll be able to close today. I was like, I had heard tomorrow informally, but I really have not been sure when closing was going to be, like, this whole time. I think the order of operations should have been appraiser, my final walkthrough, closing papers, closing costs, it's recorded and done. But what happened was notary, appraiser, closing costs, walkthrough, done. Totally out of order. And like, I was just at the property before the appraiser came, so I'm not super worried about the final walkthrough, but like, theoretically, that could have gone very badly. Anyways, we're looking on the bright side of things. Theoretically, I have a house this afternoon. I'm all dressed in regular people clothes as opposed to pajamas to do my final walkthrough. And then I think this afternoon, the documents will be signed with like the county. It'll be all done. And then there's just keys. That's all that needs to be turned over. And they're in like a little lockbox on the property. So I just get the combo to the key box and then it's mine. So it feels very, very formal, you know, like, and that's being sarcastic. It feels very informal. Like, it feels like everything is just like being thrown together, and there's some other stuff in there that I am not, you don't need to know the details of, but there's other stuff that kind of didn't get done correctly, but it's all done now, and so I think we're okay. But I'll let you know if that changes, because right now I'm just going off of everybody's word that they have figured everything out and that everything's done and ready to close. So false alarm, we're closing tomorrow. Apparently there's a paper the notary messed up, and so they're overnighting him that document, and tomorrow afternoon, roughly. I'm not sure. We'll see. I am just leaving from doing my walkthrough with my real estate agent, and in that walkthrough we kind of talked about like the air conditioner, how to fix the air conditioner, and like all the work that needs done right away and all that kind of stuff. And so probably not supposed to have done what I did, but I went and I measured the pads for the air conditioner and took pictures of the pumps and all that kind of stuff, so that when I show up tomorrow I can install it all and I'll have an air conditioner right away, because it is definitely getting hot. Teddy keeps panting every once in a while. The wind just changes direction, so it's sometimes you'll have wind and sometimes you won't. Anyways,